Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the biggest stories shaping global politics and power dynamics. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update on all things international. From high-stakes diplomacy and military strategy to energy conflicts and shifting alliances across the globe. In today's episode, we're asking a massive question. Are we entering a new Cold War? But here's the twist. This one might not involve Moscow. Instead, the focus has shifted to Tehran. That's right. Tensions between former President Donald Trump and Iran have flared up in a way that has many experts warning of a dangerous new chapter in U.S.-Middle East relations. We're talking about escalating airstrikes, crippling economic sanctions, revived nuclear rhetoric, and a series of shadowy cyber operations that have pushed both sides closer to the edge. The question we're exploring today is simple, but profound. Is history repeating itself? And if so, what does that mean for global peace and stability? So buckle up, because in this extended deep dive, we're not just going to explain what's happening. We're breaking down the timeline of Trump's re-engagement with Iran, examining the key players driving this renewed confrontation, and looking at the potential consequences for the Middle East, the U.S., and the broader international order. Could this be the spark that reshapes power dynamics for years to come? Let's find out. Let's dive in. So first, let's set the stage. Donald Trump is back on the world stage, and he's not wasting any time making his mark. After returning to the White House in 2025, one of his very first moves was to reignite a familiar and highly volatile foreign policy fight. Iran. Let's rewind for a moment. In 2018, Trump famously pulled the U.S. out of the Iran nuclear deal, formerly known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. That move shattered years of delicate diplomacy and drew sharp criticism from allies and adversaries alike. Now, fast forward to 2025. He's back in power, and so is his signature hardline approach, what his administration once called maximum pressure. And here's what that looks like today. Crippling new sanctions aimed at squeezing Iran's already struggling economy, targeted efforts to slash Iran's oil revenues, the lifeblood of its economy, and once again, officially designating the IRGC, Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard Corps, as a foreign terrorist organization, a label that opens the door for wider military and financial action. According to reporting from Reuters, this isn't just a rehash of old policies. It's part of a broader Trump doctrine. The strategy? Use diplomacy if you must, but if it fails or stalls, respond with swift, overwhelming military force. It's a message meant not just for Iran, but for the entire international community. Trump is back, and he's playing for keeps. Whether this approach stabilizes the region or sparks something far more dangerous is what we'll be exploring in the next segment. But one thing's already clear. The temperature in the Gulf is rising. Fast. The Trump Doctrine. Now let's talk about something that might be new to some of you. The Trump Doctrine. It's a term that's been thrown around in policy circles for years, but now it's being tested in real time. And whether you love it or fear it, one thing is clear. The core idea is both simple and, for some, deeply unsettling. Here's the breakdown. Protect American interests above all else. No permanent alliances, no endless wars, just raw national self-interest. Try diplomacy, but only briefly. Open a door, extend a hand, and if it's slapped away, strike hard, strike fast, then walk away. No nation building, no drawn-out conflicts, just decisive, often overwhelming force. That strategy came into sharp focus in March 2025 when, according to multiple intelligence sources, President Trump sent a classified back-channel letter to Iran's leadership, proposing a return to nuclear negotiations. It was a surprising move, signaling a potential shift toward diplomacy. But by June, those talks had completely collapsed, reportedly due to Iran's refusal to accept new limitations on uranium enrichment and ballistic missile development. What happened next? A military response that sent shockwaves around the world. Within days, the U.S. launched a highly coordinated airstrike campaign targeting key Iranian nuclear facilities. We're talking B-2 stealth bombers deployed deep into Iranian airspace, Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from U.S. Navy destroyers in the Persian Gulf, and cyber attacks believed to have disabled Iran's air defense radar systems before the first bomb even dropped. Targets included Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan, three critical nodes in Iran's nuclear program. Trump described the operation as surgical, swift, and necessary, but in Tehran, the message was very different. Iranian leaders condemned the strikes as acts of war and immediately vowed retaliation. Some foreign policy analysts say this marks a return to a kind of Cold War-style deterrence, the idea that by striking early, you prevent more dangerous escalation later. But others warn that this is not deterrence, it's provocation. The risk, they say, is that one calculated strike could spiral into an uncontrollable regional war. And as tensions rise, the world is left wondering, is this bold leadership or a dangerous gamble with global consequences? Iran's response. So how did Iran respond? Iran retaliated within 72 hours, launching precision missiles toward Israeli military bases and U.S. assets in the Gulf. Inside Tehran, voices are divided. According to The Guardian, many Iranians feel abandoned by both their leaders and the international community. Meanwhile, hardliners are gaining power, using the attacks as justification for military buildup. What's more dangerous? This cycle of retaliation isn't just tit for tat, it's becoming structural, and that's what makes it feel Cold War-like. Global ripple effects. This conflict isn't just local, it's going global. Let's break it down. Russia and China have condemned U.S. actions and are strengthening military ties with Iran. Israel supports Trump's moves, but fears a broader regional war. Saudi Arabia and Pakistan are calling for de-escalation, both wary of becoming battlegrounds in a U.S.-Iran proxy war. Much like the Cold War, alliances are hardening. One side, U.S., Israel, some European NATO partners. The other, Iran, Russia, China, and potentially non-aligned nations feeling squeezed. And don't forget, we're also seeing cyber warfare, disinformation, proxy skirmishes in Yemen, Lebanon, and Iraq. Sounds familiar? It should. Are we in a new Cold War? Okay, so let's address the question directly. Is this a new Cold War? Let's look at the similarities. Proxy conflicts across the globe. Economic warfare, sanctions, embargoes. Military deterrence without direct war. Global ideological split. Western democracies versus authoritarian regimes. But here's the catch. Unlike the US-Soviet Cold War, Iran doesn't have nuclear parity. There's no massive arms race, and Tehran isn't exporting ideology like communism. This is more about regime survival and strategic leverage. So what are we really seeing? Think of it as Cold War light. Less nuclear, more hybrid. Less ideological, more regional, but still dangerous, especially if either side miscalculates. Final thoughts. Here's the bottom line, friends. Whether you support Trump's tough stance or fear a global slide into chaos, this standoff with Iran is the most dangerous U.S. foreign policy development since the Iraq invasion. And the real danger? Both sides are convinced they're right. That makes de-escalation much harder. So what should we watch next? Will Iran retaliate again? Will Trump try diplomacy one more time? Or are we on a one-way road to broader conflict? So, what do you think? Are we seeing a new Cold War? Or is this something even more unpredictable? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get a real conversation going. And if you found this video insightful, hit that like button. It really helps boost the channel. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly breakdowns of world politics, strategy, and security, explained without the noise. Tap that bell icon so you never miss a moment. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.